SMT. Let's look at this high here. Good reaction off of that. Maybe we can get a, this was an immediate rebalance up in there. Just looking for a long scalp. I don't know if you could hear my cat right now in the background. Soup on the 15 there. Little SMT, right? Between this 15-second swing and this 15-second swing. Always try to scale one a little sooner. Gonna hit that. Oop. Meant to buy there. That's okay. Ended up getting a little bit better of a fill than I anticipated. Kind of hold here. Let's look at the 5 minute. Just buying the dips. See what's going on. I've got to be careful around this potential breaker on the 5. But there is SMT, so I'm going to kind of let it roll. So we're holding that small SMT here on the lows. NASDAQ hit that 15-minute C and just kind of took off. Solid. So we're at 25 points. Well, at least we were. So we could definitely scale one. Go. I'll take one off there. And we're just looking for ES to take this high. NASDAQ is challenging this semi. It's not really an immediate rebalance considering it left a gap. So what we do in this case is we either wait for ES to take one of these highs. And we could also measure 50%. I mean, this is really the impulse leg from here to here. So we're playing with that. And then we could also take that measure there. And then from a projection standpoint, let's look at this. Well, first I actually kind of want to put this back because I feel like we've hit that yep. Well, not really close. I kind of like that it didn't. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take a projection there. So right at the 1.5 mark, which is okay. So we're bouncing at a place where it's reasonable for us to begin coming back, and that little bounce could be over. But at this point, I would like to see ES take the high, right? Take one of these highs. We'll put the stop in to a little bit better than break even. Look how the bodies are respecting one standard deviation. And it looks like this fair value gap is a good target on the 15-second at 35. But we're getting stuffed at that 50, that equilibrium level. We're going to go back to a 1-minute chart. And pretty much halfway between 2 and 2.5. Let's go EQ only. Let me just extend this. Look at that. Almost perfect, right, to that fair value gap. So now what we'll do is with this impulse is we'll end up moving that up there. And 50% of that swing range is exactly, almost, yeah, no it is, exactly 2.5 standard deviations, which is really cool if you think about it. I mean, look at that. Unreal. So we've hit the midpoint. We've also delved into this little fair value gap, or not really, we just kind of gave it a perfect little touch and then it puked down. So we'll just we'll be pretty defensive about this. We're going to cut it there. So nice little trade. Let's recap really quickly. ES still hasn't taken the high, but there are upside targets. Just from a scalping perspective, that was a smart place to take it off. Instead of waiting for ES to take the high, right? I mean, we could go lower. I mean, higher. We're in uncharted territory with there being new highs. So you always have to be careful with how with your expectations, I guess you could say. This is just being conservative. There's nothing wrong with taking the trade-off where I did. I mean, there's plenty of points to justify a good trade. What we had was no SMT on the highs, right? So if we look at it from an hourly perspective, NQ took the same highs as ES, so we don't have any SMT on those highs, right? Then we go down to a 5-minute chart and a 15, I guess more accurately, right? And NQ starts to dip below, right? Let's on a 5 minutes a little more clear. Takes this 5-minute swing low while ES is hanging out in a 5-minute fair value gap. Where is it going? It's taking down stops, right, into the very discount of this impulse leg, right, into the 15-minute. We start hunting, right? We're going to go on a 15-second chart. We see the reaction here. We get another slight form of SMT between these lows. I'm going to take off the deviations because it's getting a little messy. You could always put them back. And let's go here. So there's the SMT. Have a good move up. We then respect the lows on both indexes, right? NASDAQ makes a perfect touch to the CE of that 15-minute fair value gap and immediately explodes. We were in already. Let's go to the executions. So we took one as soup, right? Turtle soup, taking out this low, anticipating the SMT. And then we added another when we came back down and retested the 15-minute fair value gap. Took one off at 23. So I believe it was around 20 points. Let's just say the average was, so 94 and 99. Let's say our average was like 96.5. So at 23, I gotta take off this magnetic snap feature, sorry. So 23, 25, we're at 26 3/4 points. and then at 34.50 we're at 38. So that's a good trade. You know, I mean, this is all you need, and then your day is done. Now we have SMT on the highs, but you know, there's no reason to participate anymore. It's a little over $1,000 in you know, a few minutes. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Oh, and actually, last thing. So then if we measure, right, the manipulation leg on the 15-second chart, here's what's crazy. Well, actually, let me snap it all into place. Right? Let's use projections. Projecting up. Look how negative 2.5 standard deviations is perfectly in line with the 1 minute, or I guess a cleaner would probably be a 2 minute, right? The 2 minute impulse down leg, right? This manipulation leg. So that makes it a strong target. You know, we have a 1 minute fair value gap, the premium part of this 1 minute fair value gap, right up here. Let's just go to around there as a target, and then what we were looking for previously, right? So if we were going down to the 1 minute and we measured from here to here, this impulse, and we go down into a 15-second chart. Sorry, it's getting messy now. Your equilibrium's here, and your first fair value gap above equilibrium is here. And look where price starts to stall out before it takes it, inverts it, and now we're pushing off of it. So just something interesting to look at. That's how I like to read price, read the order flow, and manage my expectations for targeting. So this would be a helpful piece of information, but considering there's SMT, yes, ES does have higher to go. What I have marked out here is a daily BPR that I think we can mess around with for a while and create a quarterly SMT, possibly, with NASDAQ taking all-time highs on the futures, right? So if we go to a weekly, let me get rid of all this crap. So if we go to the weekly, right, NASDAQ most likely taking this high, and ES not, you know, bouncing around in here. Or, you know, the alternate scenario is hitting 50% of the weekly wick, ES getting stuck somewhere in this daily BPR, and then, you know, moving down a little bit, but no real long-term expectations right now. And that's going to be it for the trade. Now, for real, thanks for watching. See ya.